Welcome to the 60th edition of the Issues Room. The Issues Room is a social media platform that brings you national development from across the world. Today, my colleague Volcano Shelton is unable to be on this presentation because he's under the weather. And of course, I'm Moses Sandy from the state of Delaware. Welcome you to this broadcast. And for this edition, we're going to have executives of the Union of Liberian Associations in the Americas. Today, we will be taking a closer look at ULAA since its formation 1974. And I would like to join our studio in Monrovia to bring in the National Vice President of ULAA, Minerva Grant, and also joining us for this podcast is Mr. Alpha Tongor. Alpha is the Northern Vice President of ULAA, right, Tonga? Is that what I'm saying?
It's the
So
northern
the Northern
region.
region. Yeah, the Northern region. He's Vice President of the Northern region of ULAA. And we will be taking a closer look at ULAA today since its formation 47 years ago. The organization been around since 1974. So, Mrs. Grant, I want to welcome you to this podcast. IFA, welcome to the podcast as well.
Thank
I
you.
know Mr. James Koiyan, the External Affairs Committee Chair Designate, will be joining us later for the podcast. Quickly, let me go to Minerva, the National Vice President. Minerva, before we kick off this discussion, just help us learn a bit about you. Who is Mr. Grant?
Okay, Ms. Grant. My name is Minerva Grant. I
Okay.
reside in Freightley, Minnesota. So I'm a member of the Organization of Liberians in Minnesota, which part of ULAA. I am a Health and Human Services Administrator. Presently, I work as a mental health practitioner and a counselor. So yes, that's Minerva, and now I am the Executive Vice President for ULAA.
Thank you. Congratulations on your promotion in ULAA.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Issues Room. Okay, Alpha, you want to go ahead? Let's get to know you a little bit.
Thank you, Mr. Sandy, and thank you
Sure,
for
you're
having
welcome.
us. Yeah, thank you for having us on the show. My name is Alpha Tongor. I'm the Northern Regional Vice President of the Union of Liberia Associations in the Americas. I reside in Columbus, Ohio, the Buckeye State. Um, I'm the current president of the Liberian community here in the city of Columbus, and I'm member of the Federation of Liberian Association in Ohio, which is a chapter of ULAA. I'm a businessman, a community worker, a community advocate. I have 4 kids, and I'm married to a beautiful girl named Zari. So that's Alpha.
Alpha, congratulations. A
Thank you,
beautiful
thank you,
profile. A
thank
beautiful
you.
profile. Yeah, so let's kick off this discussion. I know James is going to join us later. Today we'll be looking at uh the foremost Liberian organization in the Americas. That's the Union of Liberian Associations in the Americas, ULA. You guys been around for 47 years, I'm told. Since 1974, you came into existence. Uh, and let me go to the vice president. Help us understand in terms of objectives. When we speak of ULA, what kind of organization are you, and what do you seek to achieve?
Okay. Well, when ULA was founded 1974, it was founded by Liberian students and first in the Americas. And when it started first, it was like helping other Liberian students that would come to America to navigate the system. But while doing that, they saw that they could do more than just helping Liberian students to get in, to navigate the system in America. So then they started thinking about advocating a vision, like advocating for the betterness of Liberians, both in the Americas and in Liberia. So there where they started, the vision was advocating for the better living of Liberians, both in Americas and in Liberia. So the vision started from there, be it corruption, whatever the government doing. And at that time, when we had one party system in Liberia, they saw it and it being in America. And remember, not during that time, a lot of issues were going on in Africa. You have in South Africa people, working towards any apartheid and all those things. So they said and they thought that something that all right, Liberia with this one party system, though we helping our Liberians in America, but what can we do in Liberia too? How can we bring change in Liberia? And that's how it started. So like they started to advocate for the betterness of Liberians.
Okay, is Yula, also dedicated to the task of championing the cause of social justice, good
Yes.
governance, promoting and enhancing peace and unity amongst Liberians in the Americas?
Yes, those are, and you just said it that the 7 principles of Liberia when they started, when ULA started. So those are the
Okay.
7 principles: social justice, um, good governance, for breaking economic relief too in any way they can do for
Okay.
for the Liberians. And again, I would say both in Liberia and in the Americas. Yeah.
Okay.
So ULA has 7 principles. When you get on the website, you're going to see it. It's so long, so let me let people know that it's not
Yeah,
something we are about.
just
I
in
get it off
summary.
my
Yeah.
head. But the main principle is social justice. And one of the things on number 4 is the union should mobilize and facilitate financial, material, human resources much needed by Liberians at home and abroad for the social economic development. So that's
Okay.
number 4. And when you get to the number 1, you get the union should promote and encourage effort geared towards national reconciliation, integration, and unification. So it goes down a lot of things they touch on when you read the 7 principles.
You have a very broad based objectives. I think ULA is a pressure group. You speak to those core issues, you hold political leaders accountable, and you champion the cause of Liberians in the United States. I'm also you are into what social services. I'm told. So let's go to Alpha. Alpha, let's help us understand in terms of our accomplishments over the years. Where do you think we are with Yula on that? What have you been able to do in Liberia and outside Liberia successfully for Liberians? You mute. Good.
That's a great question, Mr. Sandy, and thanks for that question.
Sure.
So I'm younger than Yula, for the record, but I follow Yula. I follow Yula
Yeah.
history. I have some very good friends and people that I look up to that have been associated with the organization for many years.
Okay.
So, like the vice president said, the original plan or the original structure was to gather and address the issues of Liberian students at that time. Fast forward, ULA have been very, very active in advocacy as it relates to immigration issues. The very first deep TPS, ULA was very, very instrumental in making sure that Liberians that were applying through TPS were covered. They advocated for many, many, many years to make sure that TPS later turned into DED.
Okay.
And Liberians have benefited from that program as well. In recent time, the Liberian Refugee Immigration Fairness Act, which was passed under President Trump's administration that recently expired, ULA was very, very instrumental along with other community partners. They worked very, very hard to make sure that Liberians have been living in this country for so many years on that without status. They managed to make sure that they had status. Over 10,000 Liberians under RIF could benefit from it. So those are some of ULA's accomplishment on the diaspora's agenda as it relates to immigration issues. As we all know, right now, ULA has been advocating immensely under the leadership of the All Liberian Conference on Dual Citizenship with Chairman Wetty for dual citizenship in Liberia, so that Liberians abroad can benefit they can experience the benefit of dual citizenship in Liberia as well. And ULA have always uh, got involved with emergency relief as it relates to Ebola, as it relates to COVID. So anytime there is any form of emergency issues in Liberia, ULA get together, they pull resources from their community members, from their executives to make sure that they address those immediate needs for the Liberians on the national front. So ULA has two agendas. One is a diaspora agenda and one is a national agenda, depending on what's going on at that time.
So help us understand a bit about the diaspora agenda. What is that? Explain that for our people.
So the diaspora agenda is issues that are affecting Liberians that reside in the diaspora. Okay. So their advocacy, like immigration, which has been a huge topic, that's considered our diaspora agenda. So making sure that all of the member chapters are engaged with their community members, making sure that those chapters are empowered to provide services for their communities. Right now, ULA has about 19, if I'm not mistaken, between 19 and 22 chapters. So all of those chapters are part of the diaspora agenda to make sure that these community members, these communities are being empowered to be able to live in a peaceful and friendly environment. In the shift, the dual citizenship fight is also a diaspora under the diaspora agenda, because making sure that Liberians going back home can easily buy land and just move around like regular citizens. So that's what the diaspora agenda is.
Okay. So as part of your diaspora agenda, let's look at champion the cause in terms of peace and unity. How successful has Yula been in showing peace and unity amongst its members in the Americas? What have you done in that area? How cohesive is the Liberian community in the Americas? Can you speak to that, Madam Vice President?
Thank you. And just to piggyback on what the regional vice president said, another
Mhm.
thing that we did work on is Yula. For the first time, we were observer to the national elections in Liberia,
Okay.
2017. We were qualified to be observers, and we did send 30 people to observe. I remember carrying the first group of people, and the next thing we're working on and we're working towards is to see how Liberians in America can vote. Get us up. So we're working on that too.
Okay.
So, and like you said, the union is made out of chapters. So when these chapters are strong, the union's strong. Whatever they're doing, like he said, we help them, we encourage them. Whatever, yeah, we do that. So people may think, say, oh, what you like doing? But if you're in a chapter and that chapter is strong, that you are being strong because you like works with these chapter leaders in the community. All right. Can you ask the question again? The one that I
Yeah,
wanted to.
yeah, my question was in ensuring peace and unity amongst Liberians in the Americas.
Okay.
How effective, and it is good that you talk about your chapters. I will even come to you or follow up question on that. But how successful have you guys been able to consolidate peace and unity amongst Liberians in the Americas?
So this is it. With ULA, all ULA chapters, we are working. Those are not part of it right now since we began. Since we got elected, one
Yes.
of our goals, our 100 days goal was to engagement. And fortunately, I'm leading our engagement. And the engagement was to go back to these chapters that left the union. Some of them left because maybe they don't like what was going on with that leadership at that time. Some of them, maybe the union, their chapter was just not, you know, up to date with leadership. So what
Mhm.
we're doing, we engage in those chapters to see how we can bring them back. At the same time, we are reaching out to communities, Liberian communities in the other state that are not part of ULA to come and be part of ULA. So I would just tell you, like the chapter in Trenton, they've been having a lot of confusion, and for the last almost 15 years. And when we got elected, right now we're able to engage them, we work with them, and they are going towards election. Comes May 14th, they are going to elect new quota officers. Everybody came together and they are going to elect new quota officers. In our 100 days, we were able, and I'm talking about our administration because we just
Okay.
started. Onions.
Okay.
In 100 days, we're able to bring a new chapter in for Arizona, the Phoenix, the Liberians that live in Phoenix, Arizona. They just got registered. They are member of ULA. We are now engaged in the Rhode Island chapter because they've been out long. So we had the president met with them in Connecticut, doing Connecticut inauguration. And I did talk to the president there now, Mr. Winston Cole, and we are trying to see how we can engage them along with the chapter, the federation in Massachusetts, because Massachusetts was a federation. So we need to talk to the various chapters and see. So we are engaging them to bring a reconciliation. ULA as a whole, I would say we are united. ULA as
Okay.
a whole strong.
Uh,
Okay, so
mhm.
yeah, so I would
Oh,
say that. And when people will hear this, but the good thing about ULA, we have our element council that work on conflict resolution with us, and
okay.
then we come together. So ULA as a whole under our administration is good, it's strong, and we're
Okay.
talking to the other chapters that to come in. We look at it. We be fortunate with the Trenton chapter. Hopefully, May 14, I will be there. We bring in new quota officers, and then we just start small, little by little. And next year, maybe we'll be on your show, and we're able to boast and say we have all 50 states with the union.
Yeah. Okay. So, any effort to also resuscitate your chapter in Pennsylvania, which your national president Shehu Kamara comes. In fact, he's former president of LAP, the Liberian Association of Pennsylvania. That chapter has been down for years now. There was
Hmm.
report about some financial malpractices and all of that. anything to have this chapter make a comeback?
Well, I don't know if, because they're active. They be participating in ULAA functions. We know they have a president. Yes, we know that. So if to say
But
resuscitating it,
mhm.
I don't know if I able to answer
At,
that.
at the reports out there, Madam Vice President, is that the chapter has had some serious internal crisis. I'm sure
Oh,
you know that.
all right. And
So with
so,
all of that happening, the vibrancy of lab that you and I knew several years ago is not what you have today.
and,
What are
and
you doing to make sure that lab comes back to where it was before the crisis?
well, all right. So let me say this with ULA. The policy of ULA, if a
Yes.
chapter is going through crisis,
Mm-hmm.
they write the administration, and then we
Okay.
take it up. Okay.
Okay.
So if they're going through crisis, maybe with the leadership at that time, they
Yeah.
will write the union, and then the union will send get a committee to go out there. Fortunately, I handling that engagement thing.
Okay.
So yes, if you say crisis there till we get a letter, and that's our president chapter. So we
Okay.
wanted to be vibrant. So whatever happening there, we ready to get into it and fix it because it's one
Okay.
of our strongest chapter. We don't want it to
Okay.
go down. As far as we're concerned, they are working on whatever happening. But if it comes to a place where we get that official letter that this chapter is in crisis and we need to get in, we surely going to get involved and bring people together because we don't want to lose chapter. We want chapter to come in, and I want our vibrant chapter. So that's
Okay.
that's all I can answer towards that.
Okay. Thank you. And now, Mr. Tonga, you speak to us about your external programs or your external agenda. And I want this to be a particular focus on the relationship between ULA and the Liberian government. Over the years, when I was in Liberia, when I was at LBS, those days when ULA spoke, Monrovia stood still. ULA was a very powerful organization. Even when I relocated to the United States, the ULA that I knew was a very powerful organization. ULA always held our political leaders accountable. Now, what made you a pressure group? Now, as a new administration, where are you on that? What is the relationship between your current administration and the Liberian government,
Uh,
Mr.
Thank you for
Tongo?
the question. Thank
Hmm.
I'm not okay. So the when the president then Honorable then candidate Shehu Kamara
Hmm.
was taking on this role and he built a team around him. The reason why you see some of us join the force or because he came with a change message, right?
Yeah.
He wants change. He wants to see Liberians do better. He wants to see our people grow. He wants to see the country grow. So the approach in which the administration is taking is to collaborate, right? The pressure is the pressure. ULA is always going to be a pressure group as you claim it, or
No,
advocacy in our terms.
no claiming that's what you
Yeah,
seek to do. Yeah.
in our case, we call it
Mhm.
advocacy.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's the same. Yeah, synonymous.
Right,
Go
but
ahead.
yeah, we use the word advocacy on our end.
Okay.
So it's going to remain an advocacy group. It's going to hold the government accountable. It's going to hold Liberians accountable for issues that Liberians are facing. However, the administration also have works to build a more collaborative relationship that we can be involved in the economic development of the country, helping reducing poverty. A lot of the countries along the west coast of Africa have advocacy groups like EULA.
Yeah.
They have diaspora groups. They all have a collaborative relationship with their respective governments, like Ghana, like Senegal. So the president, his vision is to continue that advocacy and speak on issues. However, we want to also build collaborative relationship with the government like Liberia as well.
So when you say build collaborative relationship with the government, can you better explain that for our people? What are you talking
Where
about?
where there are common grounds that we can on issues that we can agree on
Mm-hmm.
as it relates to economic development. Those are the type of collaborations that we're speaking of, where things are going not as planned, and it's not part of ULA's philosophies, ULA's principles. Then ULA is going to speak about that. But
Okay.
collaboration on issues that positively affect or impact the people of
The
Liberia.
the lives of the people, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So, Madam Vice President, you want to add on to what Mr. Tonga said, touching the lives of Liberians, the ordinary Liberians in Liberia.
Yeah.
Uh, what is the new administration agenda for that? How you intend to do this?
Okay, so just I think 2 Saturdays ago, or last week Saturday, we did launch
Mhm.
a fundraising a project that we want to touch the lives of Liberians in Liberia. We're still going to advocate, we're still going to work with Liberians in the Americas, but we want to touch the lives because a lot of times people say, oh, what have you lot done? And
Mhm.
so you like there are a lot of things for Liberians. But the president right now, our administration, want to touch the lives so people can feel the impact. So that's why we launched this fund this project to reduce poverty in Liberia. And in that, whatever money we raise it, that's going to be spent on reducing poverty in Liberia. Okay, so um, be it agriculture, be it health, be it education, where we can assist the. I don't like to use help because
Mhm.
of my
Yeah.
background. I like to
Yeah.
use assist. Where we
Yeah.
can assist our Liberian brothers and sisters, we are
Mhm.
going to do that.
How do you intend to fund these projects? Do you have money saved somewhere?
Again, that's no, we don't have money saved somewhere. That's why
Okay.
we did the fundraising and
So,
we're going to continue
who
to
are
do it.
some of your
And you get,
potential funders? Where are you going to get the money from to do all what you're talking about?
well, all Liberians, our
All Liberians.
chapters,
Okay.
we, Friends of Liberia,
Okay.
Friends of the Union, and we're going to write grants.
Okay.
And then I know that, and I know, and we are going, if we have to get money from any government, we are going to look at the legal and the ethical part of it
Okay.
before we do anything.
Okay.
So, but we're going to do a lot of fundraising. We're going to
Okay.
write grants and we're going to
Okay.
do donations. We're going to ask for donations.
Okay. So, Madam Vice President, you just struck a very salient point that EULA, before accepting donations or pledges from anybody, you guys are going to look at the source or the sources of the money. You're going to be concerned about legal implications. You're going to be concerned about ethical implications. This has brought us to the most controversial aspect of this discussion. And that
Yeah,
is what most people been toying with in recent times. Uh, Take us back to the donation or the pledges made by the Liberian government to you. YULA is an advocacy group. It's a pressure group, meaning that you hold political leaders accountable. You champion the cause of the people. Uh, Tell us a bit about the $100,000 that the Liberian government pledged when you initiated your fund drive just a few days ago in the city of Pennsylvania. I mean, the city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The $100,000 and the other pledge by the Minister of State, Nathaniel McGill, saying that beginning 2023, the Liberian government will, on an annual basis, allocate $300,000 in its national budget for funding the work of YULA. Uh, as someone who believes in ethics, where do you stand on that?
like I said before,
Mm-hmm.
those pledges and proposal,
Yeah.
we have not taken it. Okay, those
Yeah,
were
no,
pledges and those
did I hear you say you are not taking it,
we have
or
not. No, I said
okay,
we
you
have
haven't
not.
taken it yet? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we are going to, like I said, we are going to look at the ethical side, the legal side of it.
Okay.
If we should take it or we shouldn't take it.
Okay.
And when we get the result we get, we come out to the Liberian people, to our chapters, and let them know we're going to be transparent. But right now, we are looking at the ethical side and the legal side. So we cannot say, oh, we're taking it or we are not taking it. We have to first look at the ethical and the legal side, and then we will make report to the Liberian people and to the chapters. But it's still not going to stop us from doing our project, because
Okay.
we still going to write grants. We're going to ask people to donate. We can ask you, maybe you can donate towards it, and we're still going to do our
I'm a
project.
Liberian. I won't mind
Yes,
contributing.
that's why.
Yeah.
So, and we're still going to go Liberia and do the project. So we're not
Okay.
going to sit and wait and see. Oh, let's see if it's legal or this thing. No, what that we look at all those things. So when we come out tomorrow to say if we're not taking it, we're able to tell the people the reason, because everybody get a side in
Okay.
it. Some people y'all take it, some people don't take it. You know what I mean? So if we
Yeah.
say we are not taking it, we're able to give any reason. If we say we are taking it, we're able to give any reason. But we are going to look at the legal and the ethical side. And that's all. And it's in our press release we put there, and the president keep talking. So I just want Liberian people to just wait. We're going to be very transparent, and we're going to let them know. But we're still going to continue with our project with the small donations that we got, and we still asking people to donate towards that project. We are going to do it.
Okay. So Alpha,
Yes.
I heard the vice president say right now the leadership is pondering as to whether to accept or not to accept, given all of the ethical implication. Do you see any ethical dilemma yet with this $100,000 which has been pledged, the $300,000 that is to follow? ULA, an advocacy group. ULA championing the cause of Liberia. ULA speaking for human rights. ULA speaking for the good of the people, seeking to also protect the interests of Liberians at home and abroad. Do you take $100,000 from the government
So
that has? Let me explain myself. Do you take $100,000 from the government that has a public record of dishonesty as a champion of social justice? A government that has been referred to as a kleptocratic administration. Do you take $100,000? I heard your vice president say you guys are very ethical. Help us understand that. Where do you stand?
so I'm gonna go back to the project.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So the project that, like we stated earlier before, one of the core foundation of Honorable Shehu Kumara and Minerva Grant's
Yeah.
administration is ready to impact the lives of Liberians, the common Liberian people.
Mhm.
The projects that we've been proposing, all of our projects are fact-based and they're evidence-based. One of the main issues that we've wanted to really focus on is the economic and social development in Liberia. As we speak today, okay, according to the World Bank, 2.3 million Liberians live below $1.90 a day. Okay, that's below the international poverty line. In addition to that, Liberians are spending in 2019, they spent over $319 million in remittance money. Yet and still we cannot curb poverty. So the president already put this project together as a way of addressing poverty, as a poverty reduction strategy. Now, we have a blueprint in terms of how we're going to fund it. Like the president said in his inaugural address, there are between 250,000 to 500,000 Liberians in America. Okay, if we take a minimum of 100,000 Liberians to just give us $25 a year, that's it, $25 a year, we can raise $1.2 million annually. As the fund grow, then we start figuring out a way how to increase more dollars. This particular project is not new. Is Ethiopia has similar project, and we looked at Ethiopia's model. We looked at what the Millennium Challenge and through the Liberian Compact is doing, and we developed this Liberian Diaspora Initiative Fund. Now, in terms of funding, we listed that we're going to go after the Liberian people, the diaspora Liberian, to help contribute. We're going to go after foundations. We're going to go after the United States government, and we're going to partner up with the Liberian government. Now, the pledges that were given, the funding that was given, we have to scrutinize the decision, and that's what the administration is doing right now, looking
But
at
look,
all of the,
you have said a lot,
yeah,
and Tongor, thanks for the explanation. But look, like the vice president said, very ethical. And let's look at ethics here, right? You're supposed to be monitoring Moses Sandy, helping Moses Sandy say, hey, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do to make our society go well. And we realize that Moses Sandy is the one, in fact, you have a relationship now with Moses Sandy. Moses Sandy is funding you. When Moses Sandy go off tangent, how will you be able to speak to that? Wouldn't that create a conflict of interest for you?
So is it for me or is it for the VP?
You can take that, Alpha. And I'm using Moses Sandy as a Liberian government now. You're supposed to be monitoring the Liberian government. You're supposed to help the government say, hey, look, we are concerned about the issue of corruption in Liberia. We are concerned about the issue of human rights violations. But at the same time, it is the government that's supposed to be bankrolling your activities. Wouldn't that create, ethical dilemma for you? What do you do now? Do you tell the government, say, hey, we don't agree with you? Then the funding will stop. Do you take the funding and look the other way? Then what happened with the relationship with you and the people? Wouldn't that create ethical dilemma for you?
So the president, the president have stated as this, and he have reiterated this over and over. Yeah. When the president, when the Liberian delegate came on Friday, the 4th of the day before the inaugural celebration in Philadelphia, he had a meeting with Minister McGill and the Liberian delegates.
Right.
And he questioned them. He questioned them about the issues of rape. He questioned them about the issues of unexplained death. He's going to keep questioning the government.
Okay.
And whether we get funding from the Liberian government, we don't get funding from the Liberian government for this poverty reduction strategy or poverty reduction plan that we're proposing for the Liberian people, not the Liberians in the diaspora, ULAA is still going to speak. The president has committed that he is going to speak. It doesn't matter whether he's being funded or not being funded. He is not going to compromise the union. And we want to rest assured that this team or this administration is not going to compromise the issues of the Liberian people. However, we want to help the Liberian people in terms of how do we build wealth? How do we develop this our people economically and close the gap between the rich and the poor?
Okay. Madam Vice President, you want to contribute?
Well, I guess my regional VP said it all. And like I said before, we are, I know you gave example with the example you gave. And again, we are going to look at the ethical, the legal side of it before we make any decision. So like the example you made, if we look at the ethical part, and that's something that we're not compromising our value, our vision, then we'll talk about that. We'll let the Liberian people know. If that's something we'll compromise, we'll let the Liberian people know. Like I'm keep saying that Liberian people gave us the chance. Let us look at all those things, and we'll come back to you guys because we're coming to assist our Liberian brothers and sisters in Liberia to close all that gap. So let them give us that chance to do all our homework. Because, I mean, we're having fundraising. It was that something that they told us before coming on stage to talk it. If that's something we knew ahead, they were going to look at everything and be like, okay. But it was something that he said. And yeah, we appreciate him being there, but we still got to look at the ethical and the legal side of it. So when
Okay.
we get that, whatever we get, we will come on and we'll let the Liberian people know and we give them reasons. And everybody will not be in agreement. But one thing, I know at the end of the day, when they see the impact, the positive impact, or if we took the money or even if we did not, but our positive impact, they see it with the, on in the Liberian, in with the Liberian people are going to come up and say, oh, wow, we see what ULAA were doing and what they're doing. And they're still going to continue. We may not be in administration again, but the other people that will come in, they will continue with it. Because that's something we want to continue. And that's something we want to do 1 year, 2 years, and leave it. No. That's something
Okay.
ULAA will continue doing. And at the same time, we'll continue to engage the Liberian government on the betterment of the Liberian people.
Okay. So let me put this question to the both of you. Okay. Madam Vice President and Mr. Tonga, what will any of you tell any Liberian or anyone for that matter who is out there saying, hey, it is preposterous for the Liberian government to fund the work of ULAB with $100,000, to even pledge that, hey, on an annual basis, we make $300,000 available. But yeah, like you outrightly said, Mr. Vice President, you have a country where a greater percentage of the people live in abject poverty. Basic social services are lacking. Educational system in Rome. Hospitals don't have drugs. The government itself, most of its activities are being financed by international donors. So it means that we have a country where the economy is significantly challenged. Isn't it preposterous? And the president said, hey, this is really preposterous. These people don't have nothing. And you in America, you want somebody to give you $100,000 for you to go to Liberia and execute programs, or $300,000 to execute programs when the very people themselves don't have it. Why would you tell such president, Madam Vice President? Let's start with you.
Again, I will go back to what I said before. I understand their situation. I
Mhm.
understand what they're saying, but personally, we have not made any decisions. We are going to make decisions. We have looked at both the ethical and the legal side. And as I said, the ethical and legal side, if that's something that we can do, we can accept this money and do that project, then we will come up and be able to talk to that person and see how best we can convince them. If that's something that we cannot do, we will come up to and let the people know. But we just want all these people that are thinking, yes, we reading it, people really concerned. Why you should be in America, then the Liberian government going through all these things, why they should give you guys
Your money.
money to come
Mhm.
and work for us here, that's why we hear all those things. But we are looking at those our to cross our T's, dot our I's, and at the end of the day, we will come to them and explain why we took the decision we are going to take. But and like I said, we are not going to stop this project. The project we're going with or without government involvement. We are going to continue, we are going to do it.
Okay.
And
So
we're hoping that these people maybe that have seen these things, they can come out and say, what, you guys don't accept the government money. We're able to put this amount. We give this amount. We'll do, and when we get it, who knows? It could, by our decision, wanted to make, be like, okay, I just say something, but
yeah.
we need all Liberians on board because,
Okay.
especially those in the diaspora, come on
Okay.
board. Even if you in a state that does not have a Liberian chapter, and you want to contribute to this project, go on our website, and we
Okay.
appreciate it because we want to go Liberia. We want to assist our Liberians, not to just go every time. Yeah, we'll continue our vision. We'll continue to advocate. We'll continue, but we want to do something else to impact their life. There, what my regional vice president said.
Okay. So, Mr. Tonga, let me put the same question to you. Why would you tell somebody who would say that it is unwise for you lot to take money from a struggling government in Liberia, a government that remains insensitive to the needs, to the plight of its people? Why would you tell such person?
Um, Thank you again, Mr. Sandy. So we've been dealing with these issues in our communities since for the last 2 weeks.
Okay,
And like the VP rightly said, there have been mixed reviews about it.
okay,
Um, we are focused on this project. This project is a sustainable project. This project will collaborate with government entities, private entities, foundations to see how we can help fight poverty in Liberia. Whether funded by the government or not funded by the government, we're going to find resources to implement this project.
okay.
The government of Liberia pledge or pledge to allocate in their budget.
Annual budget, yeah.
They have their own process that they go through. We don't know what that process looks like. And we're reviewing internally to see what exactly we need to do. But we are committed to helping the Liberian people directly. This is a direct impact. So any dollar, whether we get it from America, whether we get it from Europe, whether we get it from Liberia, is going to be right there in Liberia to help fight poverty.
So how
So that's
soon?
what I've been telling them.
So how soon, Madam Vice President, should Liberians expect the Shehu Kamara, the National President Administration, and yourself and the other executives to rather make the decision whether to accept this money or not? How soon should Liberians look forward to hearing from you on that?
Okay. I can give no timeline because we
Oh,
are
really?
talking to
So,
because we are talking to
I mean, are you telling me that we're going to take the next 200 years to hear from
no,
you?
no, no, that won't happen.
No, no,
That won't
no.
happen. I'm not going to put no
We're
red
working.
line. I'm not going to put no red line. We
Okay,
will.
Madam Vice
We
President.
no, that won't happen.
Okay,
We
on
talking
a
to
more serious note.
professionals, and
Yeah,
once we
Okay,
get that, we hope
yeah.
maybe tomorrow. When we
Just
tomorrow.
finish, maybe we don't know, but we're not going to put a timeline to it.
yeah.
But I know one
Okay.
thing: to implement to launch this project, our
Mhm.
president will be going, and President Kamara will be going Liberia next month, May,
Okay.
and
Okay.
hopefully we can do the launching because he will be there even with our board of director chairman, Mr. Afresi. Everyone in there will be in Liberia at that time. And so hopefully he can launch the project and do the office and everything and so we can start working. We're not going to wait. The little
Okay.
money we get, we're going to start with it. We are not going
Okay.
to wait
So
because
you
we
said
want people to feel that impact. And
okay.
then maybe we encourage other people to pay more money and we continue our work.
Okay. So excluding the pledges from the Liberian government, how much did you raise in Philadelphia from the fund drive for this project? How much did you raise?
Our financial people are not giving us our report yet. I'm not part of the financial people, but I think we got little money. So I
Yeah,
don't want to speak for them.
okay,
Yeah,
but you guys have a very big dream in
yeah.
touching the lives of Liberian. So in terms of dollars and cents, how much Eula intends to put into this project you're talking about, and what are some of the things that or Alpha you guys really intend to do in terms of touching the lives of our people?
That's a good question. So we 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 had a gap in terms of like how much we need to
Yeah,
start to launch,
yeah, uh-huh.
and the financial team have that those numbers. However, um, we this project is evidence based. Everything that the administration does is evidence based.
Okay,
So industries that like education is high on our priority list,
okay,
healthcare is high on our priority list, agriculture, entrepreneurship, and technology.
Okay.
Those are the 5 key areas that we're going to scan the entire landscape. And then we'll prioritize based on the needs and based on the funding availability.
Okay.
We also, within those industries, we have a specific vision in terms of impacting the lives of the most vulnerable population in our society:
Okay.
women, children, and youth. The last census that was done in Liberia, 40% of the population were under ages 14 to 0, right? And another 27% was between ages 14 to 25. So you have 60% of a population that's uh, considered youth. So our project priority will focus on priority areas that we can have the most impact based on the availability of funding. Now, ULAA itself is not going to go and say, "Oh, we opening school or we building a hospital." We're going to identify reputable organizations that will come, that we will put a RFP out. We'll have a
Okay.
team to facilitate that entire process. Okay, projects will not be based on there was no there, it was not going to be discriminatory process. Everything is going to be evidence based. So if we identify a project that, okay, we're going to take 5 projects this year, we're going to make sure not only are we going to provide some of the financial support, we're also going to provide a technical support. So we're coming back to the diaspora Liberians to see how you guys can assist us, the professionals in nonprofit financing, everything, so that we can help these nonprofits or these Liberian owned businesses. They're already working on the ground, for us to empower them so that we can have a bigger impact. So it's industry related and it's also people focused.
Okay. So, to kick this project off the ground, I know you guys been trying to avoid this question, and Madam Vice President, to kick this project off the ground, initial funding, how much you talking about? Yeah.
I would pass it on to the regional vice president because he
Yeah.
worked along with
Yeah.
the financial people with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I
So,
will
okay.
pass that question on to him to
So
answer.
we had a minimum target to at least start working was of 100,000, not the
Okay.
100,000 the government pledged.
Oh, that's
Okay,
it.
the government did not, for full disclosure,
Okay.
the government did not know these numbers. Okay, so
Okay.
we did the math. We
Yeah.
listed a list of organizations that we can have the most impact. Not
Hmm.
organizations, but projects that we can have the most impact. So because these monies are coming in, small grants, sponsorships, scholarships, and some in-kind donations. So we need $100,000 cash to launch this project, and
Okay.
then we will go after other funding sources to be able to build upon that. The similar fund in Ethiopia, the first year they raised about almost like $10 million, but they were sponsored by the Ethiopian government, who were part of that fund.
Okay.
So we're hoping that the Liberian people can rally around us and really help us fund this project.
But don't forget now you have two different organizations with different objectives. You know that, right? All right. So,
The motto
okay.
is
So, let me just let our many viewers and listeners out there know that we are having a special discussion on ULA, the Union of Liberian Associations in the Americas, and that is the issues room where we discuss those topical issues that matter most. And Moses Sandy, this is the 60th edition of the issues room. Unfortunately, this evening, my co-host, Mr. Volcano Shelton, is unable to be with us because he's under the weather. He's not too well, and I hope that Volcano can make a comeback soon. So once again, Madam Vice President, Mr. Regional Vice President, I want to welcome you to the issues room where we discuss those issues that matter most. And we are really taking a critical look at ULA. Wherever you are, you want to be a part of this discussion, you can join us by calling. Let me give you my local number. 302 494 4688. You can call and be a part of the discussion as well. So, once again, the call in number is 302 494 4688 if you are in the United States. If you are outside of the United States, our operator is going to ping the international number and you can call directly from WhatsApp. Okay, so now let's come back to your relationship with the Liberian government. How would you describe uh, the current leadership relationship with the George Weah administration? How would you describe that, Madam Vice President?
Well, we just got elected, and
Mhm.
our relationship with the Georgia government, I would first thing I would say with the minister coming, it was the first time that we engaged the Georgia government. But yes, we got a congratulatory call from them when we got elected, and our relationship is, I think it's all right. It's good because we 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 cannot have a confrontational relationship with the government. We have to be able to engage the government to have this relationship that we can relate to each other. Yes, they will be doing some things that we don't like, especially for the Liberian people. We should be able to criticize it. And the president and the minister said, don't be afraid to criticize us constructively. Let us talk about it. Where we can fix it, we will fix it. At the same time, we need to be able to sit on the table with the government to get some things done. Like we talk about the dual citizenship. We need a pass, and we need everybody on deck. Yeah, we're dealing with the legislators right now. We're working with them to see, but we do need the support of the government, of the judge. We are the executive. We need the support of them. So if we have a negative relationship with them, how can we get on board to talk about things that are bothering the Liberian people? So we have a relationship with them, a good working relationship, and we hope it can continue. But we're not going to say, and one thing I want Liberian people to know, ULA is not an opposition party to the government. No, we are not. Like you stated at the beginning, we are oppression. We're not opposition.
Right.
So where we can work with the government for the goodness of the Liberian people, we will. Where we have to criticize the government and see how things can change for the Liberian people, we will do that. We'll continue doing that. That was our forefathers' visions. So we will continue doing that. So no, that's all I can say with this. We are not an opposition party to the government. So we have to work with them to make things better for Liberia. And when things not right, we have to be able to criticize it. And at the same time, bring a good solution, suggestions. We can't just criticize and don't bring up good suggestions and things towards what we criticize from the government. We should be able, when we want to talk to the government, it should be the should be open freely for us to be able to talk to them, because we know sometimes with other leadership, that hostile relationship was there. So sometimes for good things that Yula wanted to do, but because maybe that government never trusted Yula to really engage them, it couldn't happen. So right now we want to be able to work with them. And I think we building that relationship, but we're not going to compromise what we stand for. We are not. They're
Okay.
not going to compromise it.
So let me ask you this question. I know you people have seen it to the national leadership officially less than 3 weeks ago. If you were to tell me and the many viewers out there, uh, what is Eula's impression about political developments in Liberia in terms of good governance, the fight against graft, attending to the needs of the people, uh, press freedom, free speech, human rights, and the list goes on. What is Eula's impression about these developments? Where do you people stand on that, Madam Vice President?
Okay, so we had our election. First thing, we had our elections in September,
Mm-hmm.
and we got inducted into office in October. So we really started officially in October.
Right.
2 Saturdays ago, it was like both of that is a ceremonial thing, but we really started in October.
Okay.
Um, ULA have concerns, and we have put our press releases up concerning our concern.
Okay.
You go back on our website, you will see it. We do have concern about things happening in the country with the government. When we met
Okay.
with when the president met with the minister, he talked about those concerns. So we have concern about the killings are going on. We don't know what's happening. No report from the police. Um, the human rights. Well, we have concern. Press freedom, yeah. And with this government, I think I won't say 100% press freedom, but when you see the amount of radio stations and the amount of people that are talking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But we still need to talk. Maybe it can be better. It can be better. We still need to, those concerns with the president brought it up when he was talking with the minister. And we had some press releases concerning the killing that going on in Liberia, especially when those auditors that died, that were, I want to say killed or just seriously, we are concerned with that, and we put a press release up with the raping that going on with our young girls, our children in Liberia. We are concerned. We had a press release out. We talked to people, and we just started. So the past government too did put press releases up concerning with us. Like I said, we are opening the door to be able to have this relationship with the government and to be able to tell them if we have concern, especially when the Liberian people come to us, both in the diaspora and the motherland, and we start hearing them talking, crying about things that are happening in Liberia, what we know is shooting. We will talk. We will advocate. We will ask the government what's going on. What can we do? How can it be fixed? We will have that dialogue with the government.
Okay.
So
Many like
right now, we can say we're
Mhm.
going to create our relationship with them. We're working
Okay.
on the relationship.
Okay. Thanks. Thanks, Madam Vice President. Mr. Tonga, many people out there, including Liberians and Americans, have this view that corruption is undermining Liberia's national development. Corruption, brazen corruption in the we administration is reportedly undermining national development in every aspect of life in Liberia. As a pressure group, a friend of the administration, do you think we as Liberia is corrupt, Mr. Tonga?
I can't. I can't speak on
Yeah.
that.
Well, why not?
I don't. I don't have a lot. So we
Let
want
me
to
let me
follow.
let me
Yeah, I can't
provide
speak on
additional
that.
let me provide additional information for you. I'm sure you guys consistently track national developments in Liberia, right?
Yeah,
Recently, the U.S. ambassador frowned on brazen corruption in Liberia and how corruption has eroded social services in Liberia.
correct.
Uh, Another senior executive close to President Joe Biden also made similar statement. A member of the U.S. Senate from New Jersey referred to the we administration as a kleptocracy, a government of thieves, as an organization committed to championing the cause of good governance in Liberia. That's why ULA came into existence, and you have done that for several years. Are you telling me that you don't know what ULA stands in terms of addressing the issue of corruption in Liberia? Is that what you're telling me?
So corruption for any society
Mhm.
is horrible, is
Okay.
wrong.
Okay. Is
That's
Liberia a corrupt society under George Weah? Yes or no?
so the administration will continue to work and speak on issues that impact the people of Liberia, whether it's corruption, whether it's unexplained deaths, whether it's rape. The
Mhm.
administration will keep its core and continue to advocate for issues that are impacting Liberia, not just as a whole.
Okay.
So if the administration see there's a need, they're going to step in and they will not compromise their seven principles that they were founded upon.
Okay. Madam Vice President, is the George Weah administration a corrupt government? Yes or
Again,
no?
like what the
No,
original
I
vice
mean, I
president
want to
said.
have diverse perspectives on this.
Yeah, all right.
Is
Again,
Weah Liberia a corrupt government?
we're going to continue to speak on issues concerning the Liberian people, whether it's
Okay.
corruption, whether it's unexplained death. We're going to continue explaining. Like I said, when we met with, and we hope that the dialogue that will be between the minister and the president, we hope
Mhm.
it's supposed to be out there on our website. People are going to know. Our president did talk about all the issues. Okay,
Did
we talk.
did
But
yeah.
again, we're
Hmm.
not going. I will tell you, our administration, as I said, we are first. He said, "Oh, you guys are friends of the government." We
Hmm.
want to make you say when you ask the question, and Liberian people, so you say, "Oh, you're from
Okay,
the
the
government."
Liberian the Liberian
Right
people.
then,
Yeah.
they say, "Oh, the government get it in their pocket." We are partners. We
Yeah.
are partners. We
Hmm.
are here. Well, our forefathers founded this union was to advocate. Not we're not going to say we can't partner with the government. In the Liberian term, when they say friends, then they think that oh yeah, you
Oh
can't say
no,
anything
in
against your friend. That's not what's going
okay.
to happen to you now. We are
So
going to talk, we are going to talk about the issues. If corruption comes in, we continue to talk about it. We are going to talk about it when we meet with the leadership. We are going to talk about it. Anything that the Liberian people get to say happening and we know it's not right, we are going to talk about it. We are not going to say because there's other person from the American government or this, they say, oh, this government corrupt. Someone say, yes, they corrupt or no, they're not corrupt. We will continue to advocate for the betterness of the Liberian people.
okay. So Madam Vice President, let me ask you this question again as a follow-up. From the onset of your relationship with the we administration, the CDC administration, I'm sure there are certain things that you guys look into before elevating your relationship to that level. From your own assessment of happenings in Liberia, how will you rate the Liberian government's commitment to fighting graft in the country? Is the government committed to fighting graft or not? A direct
Uh,
question.
okay, and we just started. And I would let you know our first real engagement with the
Hmm.
government was 2 Saturdays ago.
Okay.
Our first real engagement with the government
But
was
you,
two
on a
Saturdays
regular
ago.
basis, you follow Liberian politics, right?
Yeah, I follow.
You,
I personally
when
follow
I say
Liberian
you,
politics.
when I say you, I'm making reference to ULA on a
Yeah,
consistent business because you are the umbrella organization of all Liberian, association or Liberian organizations in the Americas. So it means that you should be able to wake up in the morning and say, "Hey, I know what happened in Looking Town today." You should be
mhm.
able to know that
That's
because
true.
that's the only way you will be able to speak for the people.
Yeah.
So, as an organization that has consistently tracked happenings in Liberia, is ULA impressed with the Liberian government's commitment to the fight against graft? That's the question to you. And that question also goes to Mr. Tonga. Let's start with you. Is Yola impressed or not?
Well, to answer this question again, I will tell you, ULA will always hold a government accountable for anything that not right with the Liberian people. I
Okay.
will not sit right there now and tell you, say yes or no. We will continue to engage the government, and we are, our administration, since we started, we are. We are going to continue. The Liberian people are going to know that the president will come up. When anything happening, we will tell them. But to tell you right now that Eula is coming to raid the government while this conversation going on, I I will not tell you that. But I know we are concerned of the Liberians' issues. We are concerned of what's going on in Liberia. And now that we have an open door to engage the government, our administration, we are going to engage them. And maybe a month or two from now, when that question comes back to us, we will be able to answer. But right now, we are
Mhm.
going to continue engaging. We had the opportunity to get the door open. This new administration, we are partners with the government. We're not a Liberian friendship thing they can talk about. We are partners, and we are going to continue engaging. And we just want the Liberian people to know we just started. Give us the chance. We will. If something not going right, our principal, we will talk about it. We will engage the government. That assure of the president, the board of directors, everyone will get together and we will engage the government to make things better. And at the same time, we will praise the government if they're doing something good. So it's not
Okay.
always, we're not always going to say we're going to criticize them. If they're doing something good for the Liberian people, we will. If they're doing something that we will engage them. But personally, Mr. Sandy, I cannot answer that question with a yes and no question answer.
And you know, you struck a very salient point, and this is where a lot of people are really looking at. That's a catch 22. That's the ethical dilemma there for you. Tomorrow, given the kind of a relationship that you guys have with the government now, tomorrow, if the government does well in undertaking projects and ULA issues a statement, say we commend the Liberian government for what is happening, your critics will say you are saying that because it's the government that funding you. So you see that. And then tomorrow, if you also criticize the government, the insiders of the government will say, oh, but I thought we just gave these people $300,000 in the
Mm,
national budget. Or
yeah.
we gave them $100,000. Look, to it. What are you lot people doing in America there? What kind of people you're dealing with? So all that money we're giving the people. So you see where you guys find yourself? In
And
catch 22, right? Right?
yeah, and
Right?
like I
Mr.
said,
Tongor? Yeah.
that's why we need to look into all that.
Yeah.
We are Liberians. We know
Mhm.
Liberians. We are
Yeah.
Liberians. We know
Yeah.
ourselves.
Mhm.
We know ourselves. So we look at all those things, and at the end
Yeah.
of the day, if we don't take that money,
Mhm.
they will still criticize us. If we
Okay.
take the money, they will still criticize. But we,
Secret.
like you said, we look at the ethical side and
Yeah.
the legal side. And
Okay.
at the end of the day, when we start, if we take that money, if I'm saying if, so I hope people hearing the word if.
If yeah.
Please don't say the first president said they will take the money. If, yeah, because
Yeah. Yeah. I
sometimes
know.
people just
Mhm.
want to be like, oh yeah, she said it.
Yeah. It
When the
ain't conditional.
impact
Yeah.
of that money, they see what we're doing for Liberians, they will say something good.
Okay.
And if we don't, the impact, they will say something good.
Okay.
But now we just icing the Liberian people. Please give us chance. We're not putting no red line there to tell you, so we're crossing the red line, and we will bring the report up. We will let you guys
And
know
you're not
our
telling the people say next week, right? You're not telling
no,
the
we're
people
not telling
next
them
week,
no
right?
week. They will know our decision. The president told me
Yeah.
with Mr. Kamara, President
Yeah.
Kamara,
Uh-huh.
saying when we get everything, we finish doing all our research, well, nothing will bother us, even in this great United States. legally, and even in Liberia, then I will
Okay.
come up with the system.
Yeah. Madam Vice President, hold for me. We got a caller. Someone trying to call in, but let me just quickly call it. Just give me a moment, please. It's like someone wants to join us on the discussion. Hello?
Hello, yes, sir.
Uh,
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, this is the issues run. You want to contribute to the discussion?
Yeah, this is Hamilton calling from Philadelphia.
Okay. Hold for me. Do you hear the caller? Yeah, go ahead, sir. Your name again, please.
My name is Hamilton Zilli. I'm calling from Philadelphia.
Okay, Hamilton Zilli calling from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. What's your contribution?
Yes, sir. Thank you for the discussion, and I want to thank you for hosting our leaders, so to speak. Well, ULAA. Yeah, but I know, like you said, there are a lot of things that in the concerning the contribution made by the minister, and because of that, it have brought a lot of question, for concerning people, the organization accepting the contribution from the minister. But what I see is, I listen to the discussion, and I'm sensing that our VP, the madam, she kind of concerned about the project. Let people see what we do with the money, whatever, if we will take the money, but let you look at the project. So it just tell me that they are not concerned about the ethical issue that's surrounding the giving of that money. Like, we found out that, in our own time, some people were believing what we call this, they end justify the means. It does not matter, once you take any money from anywhere and you use it for the good of society, it's okay. And what I'm sensing here, because, you asking certain questions and they kind of, trying to evade that question, try to be, don't want to make, be their new phone friend, the government, current administration. You don't want to make the current administration, don't want to make them to be vexed, or they don't want to make them to be angry. So they're trying to be so moderate and see how better they can, approach this issue. But you see, there's an open secret. It's undeniable. We see that over time and again, government, even the United States government, they are kind of raising the red flag concerning the current administration. They are being raising all the red flag, even people in the country, and I believe that they know about it. It's not a secret. They know, but again, some people, they are so concerned about that position. They're concerned about, yes, when we said we're able to do X, Y, Z, we're able to do this project, and it's all about project. It's all about, on me for ourselves. So we don't want to muddy the water. So we'll be very careful how we can walk in truck now. But let me say this. You see,
Quickly.
We should look at the context. All right. I was looking at the purpose of the goal of ULAA. And I'm kind of thinking that maybe ULAA is kind of, they need to look at their goal again, maybe revisit the goal, because ULAA being in a system, even some all were not alive. So, yeah, you found out that when you look at the GDP for of Liberia, from the World Bank Development News, statistics say that the GDP is for 2022 is 3.66 billion. All right. In all that 3.66 billion, Liberia in the diaspora contribute 25% of that 3.66 billion. All right. So what it does is that we are contributing hugely to our development project in Liberia.
Yeah.
Now, besides that, yet we found out that people are in abject poverty in Liberia, and most of the contribution is done through remittances.
Thank you. Right? So, Mr. Zilli, I would like for us to wrap it up there because we're working against time. I would really appreciate your contribution to the show. Thanks for calling. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Okay.
Thank
So,
you. Yeah, you want to say something quickly? Yeah, close. Yeah, okay.
So what I'm saying is that because of the situation surrounding this money, I think it would be a good thing that they don't have to say, well, we don't know about because of the situation. They could tell the government, so well, we appreciate what you want to do, but you can use that to do XYZ back home. But we try to see because we were in a diaspora. I mean, economically speaking, we have a lot of money. It's going to be to us whatever project going. So the role of ULAA is to be able to promote economic viability in Liberia to try to see where they can invest, whatever they can do back home, and to take money from the government, current government, where they are struggling with in terms of the budgetary allocation. So that's not going to be. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. So, Madam Vice President, Mr. Tonga, the both of you listen to Mr. Zili, the caller. What are your views on what he said?
Well, the first thing, thanks, Mr. Zidi, for your concern. But I just want to tell you that the government is not, we are not an opposition to the government. We are always going to engage the government. And like I said before, friends, he said the word, the new form of friends. And I know Liberian people, when they call that word, the government will always be it our administration, whatever administration comes, Liberia will, will always have to engage the government. And this administration not going to be an opposition towards the government. We want a clear vision. We want to be able, our president want to be able tomorrow, when something is happening in Liberia, they are not sitting well with our brothers, our sister, our mom. Even we write the press release, but he able to pick a phone and talk to the president. That connection. It doesn't mean that he's not going to criticize. When I'm talking to the president, like, what's going on? What happening? What the government doing with this problem? How can we solve this problem? That's what we want. We want that relationship. It's not a new form of friendship business. No. We want to have a positive relationship with the government. We never said, he said, if the people, they're going to take the money. Again, hear me good. We never said taking the money or we are not. We said our legal people going to look at everything, and when they get back to us, we will be transparent in telling the result. If we take it or we are not. Please, Liberian people that are concerned about us taking the money, please give us the time. We will come back to you guys and we'll let you know our decision. Right now, we are not making any decision concerning taking or not taking our money. Please. We are still going to hold the government to their feet to do better for our people. We are. We want to thank us Liberians that in the diaspora that sending all the money to Liberia to help our brothers and sisters. But now we see, yeah, we're sending the money, but we can go there too and impact their life directly with the project. So we get many ways. So again, Mr. City, thanks for your concern. We see it, and we are going to look at all those concerns and come up with our decision.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Vice President. Mr. Tonga, what's your opinion about what Mr. Zidi said?
I mean, he has some valid points. Again, like the VP is saying, like we want to reassure that this project, we're gonna have a vast portion of partners. Okay, we're gonna partner with the American government, the Liberian government, the Liberians in the diaspora. We're going to partner up in order for us to fund this project. We have not decided whether we're going to take the money or not. The president have put a team together And trust me, the executive team have been, for the last 2 weeks, we've been working extremely hard because this has been the issue for the last 2 weeks. Like just addressing the Liberian people, making the Liberian people feel comfortable that we rest assured that we're going to make the right decision. And the decision that's going to be made is going to be in the best interest of the Liberian people as a whole, whether in the diaspora or the Liberians abroad. He made mention about the remittance money that goes to Liberia. He's right. 25% of the GDP. That's $390 million a year, right? But yet and still, Liberians are still 80% of the population still live below poverty line, $1.90. In America, we on the average spent $164 a day from housing, groceries, everything. So we do have the economic power. So we want to take some of that economic power and see how we can impact the lives of Liberia in Liberia. If the government want to assist us in doing that, whether it's through collaborations or through partnership, we're going to evaluate it, we're going to scrutinize it, and make sure that we make the right decision for the Liberian people.
Thank you, Mr. Tongor. Well, I want to say thanks to the both of you for coming to the issues room, where we discuss those issues that matter most. It has been a pleasure having you here as our guest. We took a critical look at ULA since its formation in 1974. You've been around for 47 years. Your objectives: championing the cause of good governance, enhancing peace and unity among Liberians in the Americas, speaking for social justice, and working for the common good of our people in Liberia. We'll also look at your agenda for this administration, trying to initiate programs in Liberia that will cater to the needs of our struggling people. I think that's laudable. So before taking leave of you, quickly, let me say this too as well. We also took a closer look at the controversial pledges by the by the Liberian government, your relationship, your perspectives on national issues in Liberia. So before taking leave of the both of you, I would like to start with you, Madam Vice President, with your parting statement. What have you got to say before leaving our studio tonight?
Thank you, Mr. Sally. Thank you for inviting us.
Sure.
We need to really get this thing up because a lot of people talking about it. And we need to let our Liberian people know that their concerns, we're taking this seriously. Both the positive, the negative, people that want it and people that say we shouldn't take it. We're taking all those concerns seriously. We are going to come up with our decisions. It may not be today, but we're definitely going to come up with it. Liberian people, both in Liberia and in the diaspora, ULA will continue what they were funded for. We'll continue to advocate. We'll continue to engage the Liberian government, the American government, because we're doing it in America with immigration and other things. We are going to continue. With or without the money, this pledge from the government, we are going to still launch that project. There will be a donation button on our website. You can go there and donate. We will appreciate it. If you are in a state that do have a Liberian association, but they're not part of ULA, we are encouraging you to come and be part of ULA and help make the decisions because the chapter help to make the decisions. We are encouraging people. If you in a state, no Liberian organization there, but you still want to be, you are welcome. The counties, organizations, they can be part of ULA too. So we are asking people to come on board. We're talking about our Liberian brothers and sisters in Liberia. They need assistance. Come on board, let us do it and make that change. That's what we are here for. We thank everybody our on board, our listening, and we promise that we're going to be transparent. We are going to let you guys know when we make the decision, and we're still going to hold the government accountable for anything that our Liberian, that we Liberian, and when we say we Liberian are crying for, that fee is not right. We are going to hold our government accountable. We are going to ask questions. We are going to ask for solutions. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. Mr. Tonga, your parting statement.
Yeah, thank you for having us today, Mrs. Sandy. We really
You're welcome.
appreciate you having us on the show. And to all the viewers out there, we say thank you for listening. Thank you for the support. You guys are curious because at the end of the day, we all have Liberia at heart. We all want to see the best for Liberia. Last year, September, over 400 delegates came to the city of Columbus to vote Honorable Shehu Kamara and Honorable Minerva Grant as new president and vice president for this union. During his campaign, he preached on change, that he's going to bring change to the union. From the time he's taken over to now, that's the change that we're following. How do we be different? How do we impact the lives of Liberians? So we want the Liberian people to continue to pray for the administration, continue to pray for every one of us that is in leadership. We spend hours and hours on ULAA business since we took over. So we just want to continue to pray for the strength and follow us online. We have a very vibrant website that's continuously being updated. We have a very, very vibrant social media pages on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. Is ulaalib.org. Any updates, join our newsletters so you can know exactly what's going on with the union. Honorable Shehu Kamara and Honorable Minerva Grant promise that we're going to be transparent with the Liberian people. So let's just pray for them and let's continue to support them as they continue this journey so that we can make a change in the lives of our people in Liberia. And we're still collecting $25 from every Liberian a year, $25. So if you go to our website, there's a donate button. It's secure. Just put your name in there. If you don't want to donate through the site, just put your name where it says connect with us. We'll reach out to you and we'll see how we can get that $25 for commitment to be able to fund this project. Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Thank you again, Madam Vice President, for coming. It was a pleasure. Like I said earlier, this was indeed a very interesting discussion. People who had little or no understanding of what ULA is about, they were able to learn about your organization, what your plans are for Liberia, your perspectives on issues obtaining in Liberia. So it was a pleasure having you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you. All
And
right.
so, all right. So now I would like to go to our studio in Monrovia, where our man, Volcano Shelton, who is not too well, we couldn't be here with us today due to e-health, is standing back. I want to say thanks to all of you viewing. It was indeed an interesting discussion on ULA. And I'm Moses Sandy wrapping this podcast here from Newcastle, Delaware. Thank you for being there.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Have a good night.
Yeah. Good night. Bye. Mhm.